How I got the role of Peter Pan. Let's see here. The Peter Pan audition process. I'm Jeremy Sumpter. I'm here to tell you stories. So yeah, let's have some fun. I'll start off when I was about 13 years old. My mom heard about this auditions that they're having for Peter Pan. Now, when I grew up in Kentucky as a kid, I would go run around and be in the neighborhood and play in cliffs and stuff with my friends. And I was like the leader of our pack. And all the moms around the neighborhood would know us as Peter Pan and the Lost Boys. Of course, everyone was like, oh, there goes Jeremy and his Lost Boys, or there's Peter Pan and his Lost Boys. My mom was like, this is going to be perfect. So she calls up my manager and she says, you gotta get Jeremy in on this. This guy is Peter Pan. I actually get the audition, and I do the audition, and I was horrible. And that's how it goes, because you know, you're young, you're rusty. Yeah, I had a couple of movies under my belt, but this was a $150 million budget film for Universal. The movie's gonna carry on my shoulders, or whoever's the kid's shoulders is gonna be. Months and months go by, 4 months go by. The director saw what I did and thought it was good enough for me to come back and meet him. So I go into the audition to meet the director, and the director looks at me and says, hey, are you gonna do an English accent for us today? Nope. What do you mean no, really? I don't wanna do an English accent. Well, why not? Because I don't feel like it. All right. I said, but I did have an English girlfriend. Really? Tell me about that. I don't know. I broke up with her. Well, why'd you do that? I don't know. I found someone hotter. Oh, you guys wanna see a cool trick? The director's like, just doesn't know what's going on at this moment, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, let me show you guys something. So, you know when you're a kid and you can climb the walls of the doorways? So I'm climbing the doorway walls. I do this backflip off of it, and I'm like, all right, do you guys like that? God, please tell me this kid can act. So I do the scene, he loves it, because in his eyes, he's like seeing this kid who's cocky, who's Peter Pan, you know? He's doing backflips off the walls. And so he flies me to London to go meet with Jason Isaacs, who actually ended up playing Captain Hook. At the time, he had just finished filming Chamber of Secrets on Harry Potter. I think you know who he is. Him and I are doing this whole sword fighting routine, Hyde Park and for the Dorchester Hotel, to get prepared to shoot for the director. These cops come by on horseback, like doing this to me, and they jump off the horse. They separate us, and they think this older man is beating on this little kid with a stick. Explain him what's going on, and we went and we did the routine for the director, and then Jason Isaacs actually ended up taking me to the set of Harry Potter. The most badass thing I've ever been to. Remember in Chamber of Secrets, there's all these snakes. I'm walking through there. I just watched this. And this is amazing. And I got to actually meet the Harry Potter kids. Big moment for me. So then they fly me to France now to audition with some Wendy's and Tinkerbells. The girl who played Amelie, I auditioned her for Tinkerbell. She didn't get it, unfortunate. You know, who did get the role was Ludwig Sadney, and she was perfect for Tinkerbell. We do the whole audition process that day. We're sitting back at the airport, and we're about to fly to London. And PJ Hogan, the director, starts drawing this little picture of Peter Pan. And he shows it to me. He's like, Jeremy, who is that? Looks like Peter Pan. He goes, no, it looks like Jeremy Sumpter. I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah, it looks like Jeremy. Take a closer look. I'm like, what? I don't get it. He goes, you're my Peter Pan. What, are you kidding me? So you brought me out here to do all this, and you could have just told me that back in LA. So I got the role. We go to Australia, and we started shooting this movie. And I got there, and they started teaching me how to do gymnastic stuff. So, you know, like trapeze, trampolines, and these are like the Olympic-sized trampolines. So I'm like a kid in a candy store, because I'm not doing those little backyard trampolines where you can bounce this high off the trampoline. No, I'm bouncing 30 feet in the air, and I'm flipping around, and this is like the greatest thing. And they call this training? No, this is called a kid having fun. I ended up working with like Australia's best fencing coach. He's trained Olympians. My fencing skills got really good really quick. I became a real badass swordsman. Peter Pan was fun. I actually thought I'd run up to this girl that I liked. Because you know when you're a kid and you're flirting with girls and stuff, I ended up breaking my foot. So you know the whole trick where you pretend to spit in someone's hair, like to feel like you spit in some hair. Well, in Australia, I guess they never do that. I kind of just like, you know, thought we're she freaks out, she gets something, starts running after me, and I'm running back laughing, running backwards laughing and stuff. And I trip off the curb and I break my foot. We're supposed to start shooting this movie and I'm out for 5 weeks. Yep, stupid kid in love. Anyway, she wasn't the first love of my life. Wendy was. Yeah. But note to self though, I'll never ever pretend to spit in a girl's hair again, that's for sure. Good moments. I'm gonna leave now. There's really nowhere for me to walk, so. Did you get that? This is gonna be great.